Hello and welcome to Across the Acres, a Beck's Hybrids podcast, where our goal is to connect, challenge, and inspire each and every one of you by interviewing others whom have a story or message to share. I am your host, David Ringer, and today I am joined by the man behind the board, my co-host, producer, engineer, and today's guest, Morgan Fitch.
This day of reckoning has
arrived.
It's here.
So Morgan is not much for the spotlight, ladies and gentlemen, but I think it only prudent that they get to know you because for all we know, you could be a serial killer and you've just been masquerading as this nice guy.
That's true.
So we need to find out.
Yeah. All right.
John is taking photos, so John can then post your face on all like the FBI most wanted lists. Did you do that, John? Can you give me a thumbs up if that's cool? John gave me a thumbs up.
Thanks, John.
So
marketing sticks together, right?
Yeah. No, we're going to find out very quickly who you really are.
Are we going off questions of the one of the guests that couldn't make it today?
Correct.
Oh, great.
Yes, you have to ask for one of them. Morgan has always been willing to be the oh no, we need a guest guy. And here's why. Every now and then people forget where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. Humans.
And we had a guest forget they were coming today. And that's okay. No worries, no problems. And I had a backup guest whom at the last minute canceled also. And so we're on to our third backup. Now, all that being said, it's not because you're not important.
Yeah.
It's not because we don't love you.
Right.
It's that we held you back for this purpose.
Yeah.
This specific day I knew would come.
Yeah.
And it has arrived.
It's here.
So, all of that being said, who is Morgan Fitch? Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in West Lafayette,
Indiana.
My high school was basically on Purdue campus.
Okay. You were the Fighting Irish, or?
Oh, how dare you? No, we were actually the Red Devils.
The Red Devils, okay.
So there's some jokes I'll tell off air about the Red Devils.
Sure.
But, grew up there, went to Ball State in Muncie, Indiana.
Okay.
Did a year out in Arizona, living out there. And
okay. What was in Arizona?
My parents and an ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were lured there by family and a potential future spouse.
Correct.
That didn't happen, but mom and dad still in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And what part of Arizona are we talking?
Tucson.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Very lovely.
Very nice.
And we are sitting here in the rain-drenched, humidity-driven Midwest.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just stay?
Why didn't they?
Why didn't you just stay?
Oh, I was, I did an internship with like a video production house that I loved. But I was an intern and they couldn't really hire me afterwards. And I just had a job I hated, didn't have many friends.
Okay.
Just, it's one of those things that it was my dream to get out of Indiana, and I got out there and got hit with a reality 2x4 that...
Grass wasn't greener.
No, grass isn't greener, and I ended up getting a job back here in South Bend, speaking of the Fighting Irish.
There you go.
So,
now you're talking.
Yeah.
And mom and dad decided that after having you, perfection was achieved.
Correct.
You're an only child. I mean, it's clearly...
Either perfection was achieved or I was too hyper of a child. They were like, we cannot have another one of him.
Okay. You were bouncing off the walls.
Oh, my gosh. I was a little gremlin. Don't feed me after midnight.
Okay. Literally.
All that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And for all the kids that don't know that reference because it's too old of a movie, they did a remake, though, I think, didn't they?
They did a sequel.
Okay. So they should know what we're talking about.
Yeah, go watch the 1984 classic movie Gremlins.
That's a good film.
It is a Christmas movie, technically.
It is a Christmas film. I never thought about that. Okay. Interesting.
My wife would argue that comment.
Okay. And speaking of, whom is your lovely bride?
Yeah. So my wife, Jessica, she and I have been married going on, oh boy, math is hard. 6 years? 7 years? 7 years.
He struggled with that answer only to make you feel better.
Yeah.
He knew it off the top of his head.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, 7 years. We met in school. We had some good friends that always told us we had to meet each other, and we never did. And then we did meet, and we became fast friends. And then, moved back here, and we ended up dating, and now
happily married. Okay, so back up. You knew each other in school, but didn't start dating for how long? Would have been several years.
Yeah, it was probably about 2.
Okay, and
I
she
think
was just
1 or
holding
2.
you off because, good things come to those who wait, maybe?
Yeah.
Or you had some maturing to do, maybe.
Oh, definitely. I'm still maturing.
I don't think either of us have achieved maturity yet.
It's crazy.
They say the male mind is fully developed at 25. I think they're wrong.
Oh, for sure.
I hope they're wrong.
I do too.
Oh, man.
That's Brutal. Yeah.
And you and Jessica now reside
we live in Indianapolis. We have our dog Rizzo for Anthony Rizzo.
Absolutely.
Cubs first baseman.
He makes the occasional appearance on WebEx.
He does.
Like him a lot.
He does make the occasional appearance on WebEx.
He's a good dog.
He is. He's a good dog.
He's as active as his guardian.
Yeah.
Pretty active dog.
Yeah, he is. It's interesting. So humble brag, we rescued him.
Okay.
And I grew up with a Jack Russell Terrier, and Jessica grew up with a Chihuahua, and he is part Terrier, part Chihuahua, and we think it's a Jack Russell. So he's like our perfect combo dog of our childhood dogs.
That's cool.
Except he gets his attitude from the Chihuahua. So
and the hyper of
he's
the
got
Jack
that
Russell.
Napoleon dynamic.
Ooh, small dog syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just like his father. You know what I mean?
And Rizzo is how old, roughly? Being a rescue, hard to say, maybe.
They think he was a year old when. Yeah, he's probably about 7.5.
Okay.
Ish.
And still pretty hyper.
Yeah, he likes to play a lot.
Okay.
He needs to run, but he's not as hyper as he once was.
Okay. He's calming down.
Yeah.
Jessica, employed, or is she staying at home?
Nope, she's employed. She works for a company that has centers for children with autism. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So she was a behavioral tech there, and then she worked her way up and became a regional manager and decided maybe that wasn't quite for her.
Okay.
She loved being a leader, but it was just a lot of work, and she'd work 18 hours, or she'd come home, get on the laptop and work until she got home at 6, and she'd work till 10.
Ooh.
And that was a while. So
you can only do that so long.
Yeah, now she's in recruiting for the company and really enjoying it.
Okay. Good for her.
Yeah.
Recruiting, still using a ton of people skills, but not as intense as leadership of others.
Right.
In fact, a wise man once told me, if you do physical labor, you will be tired. If you lead others, you will be exhausted.
Yeah, that is.
It's just, it is what it is. We demand a lot of our leaders. I know we do in the education department. Poor Ashley. She survives. We're not sure how.
Yeah, I don't know how either.
And it's amazing. And to lead other people can be very draining. Can be very fulfilling too.
Absolutely.
But a lot of work.
Yeah.
So has a degree then, I would assume, in that field a little bit, maybe or not.
Honestly, I think she has it in elementary education.
Okay.
Because she originally wanted to be like a teacher. And our teachers are great, and I think, they deserve all the credit.
Oh, man.
But just not for her with that wasn't the path she wanted to take as she kind of got into it.
Well, if leading adults is exhausting, leading small children.
Yeah, right.
Oh my.
Right.
I don't know how people do it.
Right.
I don't have the bandwidth or the patience.
Well, and children with autism wasn't really on her radar. She just kind of fell into it, and she's been with the company over 10 years or going on 10.
Wow.
One of those.
Good for her.
Yeah.
What a mission field, too.
Yeah, she's great. I love
those
her.
kids are really special creatures.
They are.
Like, tremendous creation of our Father.
Yep.
Super cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So for you professionally, you start out doing what kind of work?
Well,
independent films that you sold and marketed on your own.
I wish. So I went to Ball State and I studied video production. So I never technically went to like film school, we'll say.
Okay. Home of David Letterman.
I
learned that from you. Thank you.
Yeah, and Jim Davis of Garfield fame.
That's right.
Yeah, and Papa John's, if you want to get technical.
Way to go, Ball State.
Yeah. Chirp.
And Trey Utrecht.
Yeah,
Check that
right.
episode out. But Super cool.
Yeah. So I went out to Arizona thinking I'd, make my way west.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen.
Because California, ultimate goal?
Yeah, I think just the West. I got sick of, honestly, I just got sick of the Midwest and Indiana, if we're being completely honest.
Yep.
West Lafayette, looking back, great town to grow up in, but growing up at the time, you're like, it's small, it's tiny, I got to get out of here. Mm-hmm. Hence why I went to Ball State, besides their great TCOM program.
Right.
I had
to be away
I
from
had
home.
to get out of town.
Yes. Purdue would have been way, way bad.
Yeah. So, moved out to Arizona. Ended up selling cars because
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I sent my resume in. I was just like blasting resumes out, and they were the first people to call me up and said, "We can get you in an interview tomorrow." Went in, they hired me. Absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
I will. Nothing against the people in that industry, but like not for me. And my mom is a salesperson.
Yep. Just not your calling.
Not my calling. I'm a creative. I get that from my father.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, came back, went to South Bend, ended up getting a job with Farm Journal Television.
Okay.
They do U.S. Farm Report and Ag Day.
Absolutely.
So I was traveling around really the world, shooting stories on agriculture.
Okay.
Never thought I'd be in agricultural media.
No way.
Yeah, but I was the single young guy, so like on the road 4 days out of the week, and then driving 2.5 hours to go see Jessica, who was my girlfriend at the time.
Oh yeah.
Living out of a suitcase.
Ooh.
Basically.
Rough.
Yeah, but like
for the time.
I loved it. Yeah, I think I counted. I think I've been to like 42 states.
Oh my.
Roughly. Yeah.
And you're probably a Hotel Rewards member in like
I used to be. Yeah. Yeah, I used to be. That A-list Southwest card,
Absolutely. They knew you by name.
Yeah, right. So after that, I decided to move down. Jessica and I moved in together, and I got a job with a medical engineering company. Ironically, working from home before 2020 hit.
You were kind of a pioneer then, in some sense.
Yeah. And there I started doing more like motion graphics and animations and stuff. And I had done that at Farm Journal as well, which I love. Like that's kind of my bread and butter.
Okay. We're talking like you could do The Simpsons or
Mickey
Mouse?
I won't go that far, but like a lot of the stuff you see that's like animated on our page on We Are Becks or anything, that's all me.
Okay.
For the most part. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It has to be fairly labor intensive though.
It is. It's a lot of experimenting and how do I solve this problem? It's a lot of problem solving and more problem solving than I think people realize. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I've animated a lot by hand as far as like keyframe. I should say by frame, not by hand, so to speak.
Frame by frame animation.
Yeah.
Not unlike if you were to go back and watch anything on the early days of Disney.
Yeah.
Where they had to speed up the frames in order to make it alive.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And you learned to do all of this?
I took a class one semester in college, and I think I did an advance, so I guess technically I did a semester of it. But like after that, it's kind of all self-taught, so to speak.
Good for you.
Thanks.
And what software are we using to do
I use
this?
Adobe After Effects mainly.
Okay. What Adobe can't do.
You're telling me.
That's incredible.
You're telling me.
Some software engineer did good.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh my.
For sure. Sorry, that was a long way to just get to the point. In 2019, I got hired on here because I was in my early 20s. I wish I was in my early 20s.
Man. Yeah.
I was in my late 20s, early 30s, and I've been working from home for like 2.5 years. And I was like, I got to get out and like be people and be around people, you know? So
we need community more sometimes than we think.
Yeah. I saw it on like Indeed or whatever I applied to it on, and I was like, I don't know if I want to get back into farming. And Jessica was like, you were a videographer for farming for like 3 years.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? Yeah. And then, the rest is history, as I say.
And you would have interviewed with Sean?
Yep, Sean and Haskey.
Okay. Haskey left and came back.
Yep.
Because he just couldn't resist us.
That's right.
Because we're that cool.
I like to think he couldn't, he missed me and Sean too much.
Absolutely. And me, I think.
Yeah,
because he sees me like twice a year.
Yeah, right.
And so we had to have come back for that.
Right.
The pull to Beck's, once you go through the interview process, was it like, oh, this is the place I need to work? Or, hey, this is a good job, let's try it?
So my first interview, I was like, wow, this is cool. And I had actually been here before on a shoot. We interviewed Scott for something.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've been to the facility and I kind of like knew of it.
Okay.
And I watched some of their stuff on YouTube. I was like, this place seems cool. And then I met Sean and Haskey. And I was like, yeah, these guys are cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was very funny because the day of my interview, I left. I went home. My mom was in town from Arizona visiting. And we ran out to CVS. And I'm leaving. And Sean, my future boss, was in the parking lot walking into the drugstore. And I was just like, this is one of those things where, like, do I roll down my window and be like, oh, hey, what's up? Guy that just interviewed me? Is this... I'm not following you.
I wasn't stalking you.
Yeah.
I honestly...
I had to go get some cough drops,
Yeah.
But, yeah. So...
Wow. God moment. Maybe you opened the window there.
For sure. For sure.
Just to say, hey, wait a minute. Let's just rekindle this and... Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Very interesting.
So now it's 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to believe already.
I know.
And the place has either grown on you or scared you away because we're a little bit weird.
Yeah.
We're a family, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty tight knit.
For sure.
What do you think?
I love
Jury's
it.
still out.
No,
Okay.
not at all. I mean,
Good.
I'm 100% sold. I tend to be, I don't want to say reserved, but like a little skeptical of things, where it's like,
That's your natural nature.
yeah, everybody was like, oh, it's great here, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like one of those like, I'll decide,
Let's give it some time.
Yeah. And I remember our first Christmas party afterwards, we were leaving and I said to my wife, I was like, I'm sold. Like, I want to be here.
This is it.
This is it. This is cool.
And for dealers or customers, whomever may be listening that doesn't attend our Christmas party,
Oh, yeah.
explain that to us.
Yeah. We just get together at the J-Dub and have some food and watch some people make fools of themselves.
For the Beck's barrels.
For the Beck's barrels. And, it's a good time.
Yep. And the Beck's barrels really are just a surprise. You get to pick one, and then the Beck family basically sends you through a, obstacle course of sorts.
Yeah.
Christmas related, typically. Yeah. And then you get
They're
a
like
prize at the
parlor
end.
games.
That's a better way to describe
type stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And obviously we invite every single employee and their significant other. It could be as many as 2,000 people in theory. And this year it was probably, 1,700?
Yeah, probably.
That showed,
Yeah.
which is crazy because it's a busy time of the year.
Yeah.
And yet we still get that much together.
Yeah.
And it feels like a family.
Yeah, it really does.
Feels different
It really does. So,
than some other organizations, which is powerful.
yeah.
Now that you are at Beck's, what do you do for us besides the animation?
Yeah. So technically
podcasts.
my title is a videographer.
Okay.
So I go out on shoots. I help shoot. I help be part of the team. I run audio. We edit the dig. We shoot the dig.
Okay.
All that stuff.
Nice shout out to our buddies on the dig.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All the, I shouldn't say all of, but each year we launch a new theme
Campaign. Yeah.
You're shooting that, covering the audio on that.
Yeah. So there's there's 4 video guys, and we all kind of shoot when need be. And then for some of the bigger stuff, we're a crew, right? So there's normally a director or a primary shooter,
Okay.
or somebody running to grab gear or running audio, just like whatever needs to happen, we just pick up and go and do it.
Okay. And to see these primary campaigns, they can obviously do it on YouTube,
Yeah.
our website.
Yep.
We Are
All that.
Beck's.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep.
Super cool one this year. Love the one we did this year. Last year was fantastic too. But yeah, last 2 years, I should say. I've loved them.
Yeah.
They've always been good, but
Yeah, for sure.
they're getting super. It looks so professional. I always say Hollywood must have done this. And I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here. It is so well done.
That's
so shout out to you and your team.
Yeah, that's all the team. I just help where I can.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Since you're stuck here.
In this chair?
In this chair physically forever.
Oh, gosh.
What else do you want to accomplish at Beck's Hybrids?
I don't know.
You want to become a part of the plant breeding?
Definitely. I don't think I have the brain for that. I don't know. I think being like a senior or just in charge of like anything motion graphics would be cool.
Okay. Stay marketing then.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy the team I'm with. I'm on. I mean, we
got a great team.
We're closer than can be, and we're truly a family. We watch out for each other. So I don't think I'll ever want to be anything else but marketing.
Yep.
So
it is your passion.
Yeah.
It's what gets you excited in the morning.
Yeah.
Gets you going.
And, a lot of us didn't. There are a few of us, but a lot of us didn't grow up in the farming community. Or like my dad grew up on a farm, but that was about. I lived in a neighborhood called University Farms. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
it's as close to farming as you got.
Right. But
did you even have a garden growing up?
No, we didn't actually.
Right. So no background in it at all.
Yeah.
And here you are at Beck's.
Yeah. But I like to create.
Which is what farming is.
Right. And to that point, like, how can we create this in a new, inventive way, no matter what it is,
Absolutely. It's one of the many reasons why I love working here is not only that we are a family, but two, there's such diversity of who we are and where we come from.
Yeah.
That's so fun to me, and I learn from you every time I'm with you, so thank you.
No, thank you.
It's a blast, and just that diversity keeps us growing and educating each other.
Yeah.
And that's powerful, because you don't need to be a farm kid to work for a farm company.
Right.
So if there are young men and women out there thinking, I could never work for Beck's because that's just not true.
Right.
Give us a call. You never know what we might need you to do.
Yeah.
And who knows, someday you might be on a planter.
Who knows?
Have we had you drive a tractor yet?
No.
Oh, we got to do that.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, we'll just put you like in one that's heavily padded.
One of those self-driving ones, maybe. I can just do what I do here and just hit buttons.
Hit the button.
I mean, nowadays...
Auto steer.
Like, yeah.
Done.
Yeah?
See, they make it look hard, Morgan. It's not. It's really not.
I've been in there where they're like, beep, and just turn it off.
It's all about the tech.
Right.
And you know technology. So I'm not at all worried. You do great.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate that.
You're welcome, sir. Passions outside of Beck's Hybrids. What keeps you busy? Hobbies? Stuff?
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know. Hobbies. I enjoy working out, exercising, do a lot of hiking when we can.
Okay.
Camping. I love being with honestly, it sounds cliche, but like I truly love being with my wife and dog.
Mm-hmm. You actually like your wife?
Huh. That came out. That could be taken so many different ways. All right.
We love Jessica very much.
Yes, we do.
And you're happy to spend time with her. Praise the Lord.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll, I've gotten into still photography a little bit, film. My dad was a photographer for 20 plus years.
Okay. Any old cameras?
Yeah. I just got his old camera he bought in 1980 as a birthday gift. So
still functional.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's a beast.
Where does one develop film?
We got a place here in Indy that can do it.
Okay. Yeah, that's harder to find.
Yeah, we did talk about maybe trying to set up something out here, but those are just whisperings in the wind.
Okay.
So you never know.
Let me know.
I mean, in high school, I used to develop all my own film and stuff.
Okay.
And
obviously, do you have a dark room in your house?
In high school. At my high school. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a cool high school.
Yeah.
We had a football team. I mean,
we kind of had one of those too.
So that's a definite growing passion that I've seen and heard about from several people. That film, the original, tangible, I want to grab it, hold it, and look at it, film is coming back.
Yeah. Well, it's like records, right?
Vinyl's back.
There's something about like hearing the crackling of a needle hitting a vinyl record.
It's real.
It's real. And it's like the film I've been chewing lately, everything feels warm. And like, I get so sick of these Instagram filters, and like, there's a time and place for that, as far as like putting overlays on digital video and stuff, because we do that all the time to get that vintage look. But there's just something about like it actually being vintage. That's nice. Authentic.
Which, by the way, we don't filter any of this video, so you're this is all you get. Right? We're just this handsome.
Yeah, that's
it
true.
Is what it
that's
is.
true.
Yeah, it's how we roll.
It's funny. When I got my dad's camera, I was taking pictures, and I took one of Jessica, and she's like, "So, like, can I see it?" And I was like, "Yeah, in like 4 weeks."
I was gonna say it's going to take some time.
Yeah, like this isn't digital. This is.
We're raising an entire generation that has no idea what that even means.
No.
And even Polaroid cameras are back.
Yep.
But even those are instant.
Yep.
You shake it out, and there it is.
Yep.
And those days were just not real when we were kids.
Yeah. Also, this is like a new hobby for me. Like, my dad was a photographer, so I grew up in dark rooms and stuff, but I was always more into video.
Okay.
So, but this has definitely slowed me down and take my time and see it, as opposed to just
growing patience as opposed to eroding it.
Yeah.
Ooh, good for you.
Yeah, I'm trying.
And as a young man who grew up bouncing off the walls, this is probably a really good thing.
Yeah.
He's bringing you down a notch.
He's been bringing me down a notch for, it feels like, the past year. So
yes. God and Dad both.
Yeah, seriously.
And that's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So Mom and Dad, though, just to clarify, are still in Arizona. Healthy as horses and proud parents of Morgan Fitch. So hopefully when they see this episode.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Big shout out to Mom and Pop.
Yeah.
But
Mark and Mel.
Mark and Mel. And Morgan.
They
stayed with the M.
They did.
Why not?
Why not?
Why mess with perfection?
Of the sea. Morgan is Celtic for of the sea.
And you are Irish in...
Scottish.
Yeah. Okay. Celtic. Can Celtic be either?
Yeah.
Okay.
7 Celtic nations.
I panicked there for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. Did I mess that up? Yeah. Those are the things that go through my head when we're recording these things. Now, don't mess that up.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share with the group?
Nah, man.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you
so much for being a guest today, but you are not escaping the Fun Fast Five, my friend. I have got one just for you. Bear with me here as I pull this out. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Grand gesture or a quiet act of kindness?
It's probably a quiet act of kindness.
Okay. Stay home or travel the globe?
Travel the globe. It's such a big world.
It is.
And the cultures and the beauty.
And the food. Don't forget the food.
We are food people. Anthony Bourdain was like...
Yes.
He's our man.
It's a very sad day that we've lost him.
I know.
Super cool dude.
Super cool.
Pineapple on your pizza or anchovies?
Pineapple.
With ham? Canadian bacon?
Sure.
Okay. The full-on Hawaiian. Coffee or pop?
Coffee.
And last but not least, cure a disease or end poverty?
Ooh. Any disease?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm going to go with end disease. You're going to ask me to explain because I've been here too long for you.
Yes, I was going to.
Well
done, sir.
Thank you. So I'd say end of disease because I feel like a disease has riddled humanity for way too long.
Way too long.
And we lose good ones to disease as well as poverty. I'm not saying that, but like...
True.
You know, they're both... Tragic. And if we could get rid of a disease, you know, I think...
Why not?
Yeah.
Good choice.
Why not?
Plus, Jesus said, the poor you'll have with you always. I don't know entirely what he meant by that, but one of the thoughts I have is that when given too much, and I'm speaking for myself, I can still find a way to lose it.
Yeah.
If I'm not careful, we just take it for granted.
Yeah.
Where if we could cure a disease, wow. I'm going to take cancer out. How about you?
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of.
Right. All forms. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Eliminate it. Eradicate.
Yeah.
My niece is diabetic, though, so I'd also like to grab that one, too, and just...
wrangle that in.
Well, if you take care of cancer, I'll take care of diabetes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Boom.
right. We each got a choice.
Boom.
So
I also feel like it's not a disease, but like chronic pain
ooh,
could be.
Absolutely. Let's just chuck that one to the weeds. We'll just get a third person in here to help do that.
Yeah.
Clean this joint right up.
Yeah. That's why John should have sat in and just made offhand remarks.
He should have. We invited John to join us, our photographer. He chose not to. He's a little camera shy.
Yeah.
But we're going to get him on Across the Acres one of these days.
Yeah. You know, I'm surprised I didn't use a swear word on this podcast.
You did great.
So that's awesome.
I didn't have to reach over and mute you at any point.
I know.
You did fantastic,
I was good.
sir.
Wow.
Well done.
I'm going to go unleash them as we leave here.
On the way out the door, though, just a sailor moment.
Yeah,
if you will.
exactly.
Totally
exactly.
acceptable. Yep, no one will be here to hear it anyway. We're all alone here in the studio, so we're good to go.
Totally.
Well, Morgan, thank you.
Thank you, man.
Been a privilege to have you along. Thank you for always running
the
board so well.
It's been fun.
And then he does all the behind-the-scenes editing as well to get this out the door. He fixes all the mistakes I made and continue to make. And so thank you, Morgan, for doing that.
You don't make that. You're too tough on yourself.
Oh, man. Some days I wonder.
Hey, you've hit the beginning and the end flawless the past few times, which means I probably just jinxed you.
I was going to say, we're about ready to close. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For that.
It's like the announcer in hockey where he's like, oh, man, he's got a good glove. The glove's on fire tonight. And Corey Crawford lets one.
Baseball, too.
Yeah.
Announcers have ended more no-hitters.
Oh, my gosh.
It's just not cool.
No, not cool.
Well, let's give it a try anyway. We'll see how I do.
Okay, here we go. Go ahead.
Thank you all for joining us for Across the Acres, where our goal is to connect, challenge, and inspire. Please join us next time as we interview others. Please give us a 5-star rating and review on the podcast provider of your choice. And until next time, we will catch you across the acres.
You were trying so hard.
I did. That was brutal, you
that
jerk.
Was good.